Dan from Gear Diary here.
And Judy from Gear Diary.
So we've been talking about doing some video podcasts for a long time. We figured since we're actually in the same physical place for the weekend that we would actually do some stuff. So we thought we'd start with one of our favorite devices and talk about
iPad covers, different ways to protect it.
How do you protect it?
I haven't tried most of these. These are the ones that Dan's reviewed. So he's getting first impressions from me.
So there are lots of different options. First option is actually, this is from Power Support.
Okay. And the first thing I want to say about any sleeve is they're wonderful for being compact, for carrying things around, but when you take it out, obviously your item is totally exposed.
It's a problem.
It is a problem. Best recommendation, I think, in a situation like that would be to have a really good screen protector on there, and maybe even like a skin or one of those Dodo case backs.
We're going to look at that in a second.
Yeah, those would be what I would do if this were my preferred way of using the iPad. It's a really slim, good form factor, but they just worry me. And I know it's a favorite for a lot of people, just not for me.
If you use your iPad a lot, and you actually care about how it looks and you care about the resale value, I don't know that this is the best way to go.
I agree with you, unless you're protecting the back and the front with your protectors.
Which is good for screen protection, but not much more.
True.
All right, so that's the sleeve. Right after the iPad 2 came out, a lot of companies came out with your traditional skins along the back. So I thought we'd take a look at one of these. And we're not going to even get it all on the way, but here you do protect the back.
Right. Here's the thing. I've never been a huge fan of these silicone sleeves. I mean, they are great for being a thin form factor and not taking up, you know, too much space if you have like another sleeve that you slide these into or something like that. But the deal for me is I don't like how they feel. I don't feel that there's too much protection. There we go. Yeah, just slide right in. Or maybe be a little bit tight, but yeah.
So now we get actually protection on the back and the sleeve. So, but it's actually kind of heavy.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. So it's not quite a slim form factor, and it once again needs to have screen protection because there's nothing taking care of the front. And the minute you put this into a bag without a sleeve over it, you are asking for scratches and everything else if it comes in contact with a camera or your keys or any other item that you might toss in your bag along with the iPad.
And scratches on the back are aesthetically an issue, but on the screen, that's a different story.
It's totally not cool. If you get scratches on the front, and I know that they're not supposed to scratch easily, but you know what? Those are always the things that, to me, seem to scratch quickly. So better just to be safe than sorry and put a protector on there and be done with it. The back, I mean, it's not a big issue if you get it scratched up, but if you're thinking about the fact that in 6 months you might want to resell it or something like that.
Not that any of us ever
would do that, exactly. But come on, let's be real. You want to get the most money that you possibly can for your equipment whenever it's time to trade it in or sell it or however you take care of it. So aesthetically, the next person who owns it doesn't want it to look like it's just been scratched by your cat, so you might as well protect it.
But here's the problem with this. I hate the way it feels.
It feels like doll skin to me.
What? And you've got this beautiful device that feels really nice.
Just now covered
so
by
I want some
piece
form
of
of protection that actually maintains this nice feel.
Right.
So that leads us to the Incipio Feather, which is the same idea, basically, except you don't get that really plasticky feel. What you get is this really nice soft touch feel. And the question I have for you is, does this improve upon it at all for you?
You know,
not so much.
It doesn't. I mean, here's the thing. This doesn't feel like it adds nearly as much bulk as that one did. That one was definitely bulkier. This one feels better, but
that one also had a little rim around everywhere. This one, they kept it nice and minimal. That's the whole idea.
It's very minimal, but this isn't something I could see myself using.
I also don't love this. This is still exposed. And this is exposed. A lot of people love this, and I do like the way this feels, but not something that I personally want to use.
Yeah, no.
All right. Moving on.
Oh, I know this one.
Apple released the smart cover. It's pretty cool.
Yes, yes.
Let's snap it in place.
Get that? Yeah, there we go.
Oh, good.
This is what I was actually using on my iPad for some time. It did leave the back completely exposed, which was a problem, but since I got mine engraved on the back, I just dealt with it. I'm actually going to keep this iPad one way or another. Mine is a little bit scratched up on the back as a result of using this. So if this is going to be your preferred method, be aware that while it has lots of great features, including the wonderful look, the screen's on and off whenever you lift it, there's no back protection. So you might want to put some kind of skin or one of those like zag overlays if you like this, but I don't like the those.
Feel. Yeah, I don't like that feel. It does the protection job, it doesn't feel good.
For me, you're talking about a metal body that feels really good, looks really good. It just sucks to like pretend to have the same form factor, cover it up, and then it feels yucky and it looks cheesy, like with that clear cover on it. So, not a fan.
Love the smart on-off feature. Love the stand feature, although I will not use it as a stand this way because I'm always worried it'll fall over. But here's the thing. This leather smart cover, $70, close to $70.
Yeah.
I've only had it a couple months. It doesn't look real good.
And see, I have the pleather version in pink and only a couple of months.
It looks horrible.
It does. It looks
horrible.
Kind of trashy looking.
So, but that was only $39, $69. So,
yeah.
So, but it is a good way to protect it. So there's some options for protecting the back. One is, you mentioned before, the Dodo stand. So this actually, I had on initially because I got it really quickly, and it protected everything, but it didn't protect the sides and all.
And here's the thing too,
nice.
it feels nice, but I've got this on the one that's at the house, the 16 gigabyte that you sent me before. I don't really like it on there. I mean, it is protection for the back to keep it from scratching. It's not protecting the sides, as Dan mentioned, but it doesn't feel right. Your fingers bump into it, and so if you're enjoying the smooth, everything about the iPad is so finely turned.
It's finessed.
It's
refined.
A finished, refined product. This adds like a ridge that you're going to bump into. It's kind of uncomfortable. Did you feel that same way when you were using it? It just
if you notice, it's not on the iPad.
It's not on there, but I didn't know if it was because of the edge protection or if it was because your fingers. I didn't like how it felt.
I don't mind the fingers as much. I minded the fact that by having all this exposed, it defeats the purpose of having it there in the first place.
Except you are protecting the middle of the back.
Great. So now when I take it off to resell it on eBay,
you're all scratched
I've got
here,
a
but it's
pristine back, but scratches all. Doesn't work for me.
I know.
So then there's this, which if you like a silicone case, it actually does a great job of protecting pretty much everything and using the smart cover. But
once again, you're back to that baby doll feel. Not a fan.
Not a fan.
Yeah. And they're kind of gross when you put them on too.
And when they get worn a little bit,
they start buckling and they just,
But there are people who love it. There are people who love it.
Do you have a screen protector on here? I didn't think so. I'm shocked.
This is the first time I've ever had an iOS device that I didn't put screen protection on.
I'm honestly shocked. That, I am amazed that for you not having a screen protector
I'm really
on there,
careful.
It looks really good.
By the way, that little skip there is because something just got edited out. Really good we're not live. That comes later. All right, so this one, not a huge fan of, either of us. But then there's what I've been using, which is from Avic, and it also has the same design idea. Protects the front with the smart cover, $69. The Avic, which is a little over $50, I think. And
so you're already in over $100. I mean, just putting that out there. Okay.
But it doesn't have that same cheap feel.
Okay, that's absolutely true. And I was impressed when I picked it up. I do like how it looks, and it does maintain the whole metal thing, but it is heavy.
It's heavy.
It is heavy. The leather and the metal and the way they did the gray plastic, though, very classy if you want this kind of design. And also the fact that you can pull this right off and you can use it just like this as a shell without a cover if that's your thing.
But then you've got this whole side.
Exactly.
So
pros and cons, gives and takes.
But if you notice, this is what I'm using, and I'm actually using the pleathery gray one most of the time, not the leather one. So this actually is the one that I'm choosing to use personally at the moment. But then we get into ones which are more portfolio style. We have a bunch coming from Senna, but we don't have them here right now.
Okay.
We actually might be waiting in the house. This actually, let me get this off, is the one that I've been preferring and using, like when I use this at work, because it has the smart feature, which I really don't want to use a cover in case it doesn't have the smart feature.
It's kind of a...
So you haven't actually felt it with this on it. What do you think?
I think that this reminds me very much of a certain Samsung Tab case that we got.
It does. That's why I like it.
Enjoyed very much. It was very simple.
We don't know what company that one came from.
It was a no name, but you know what? This company also put out that same exact style, but in a nicer leather. So what is this?
It's YOOBAO. We're not going to pronounce it.
I'm going to say U-bow. I'm going to go with that. But anyway,
it's nice.
So the cool thing about this cover is, all right, so do we have the... We do have the instant on and off again with the magnets.
It misfires a little bit.
I have a feeling that a lot of cases are going to fall into that if they're not the ones that were specifically designed by Apple. So it's kind of a hit or miss sometimes, and you may just want to turn it off. But anyway, so show me. It'll do this. Is that the only? Is that the only?
It's got the tab here, so you've got you can do it here for typing.
Okay.
And it's actually a really nice angle for typing. Yeah. And you can also do this, but I won't.
Gotcha. Okay.
But when you fold it over, The back, the front cover's not really in the way.
No, it's not. It's very book-like. I like that. I like the leather feel, and
this has gotten a lot of use, and it looks pretty good still.
It really does, and I like how the cutouts are perfect.
And it's not expensive.
Stickers. How much is this one?
I think, if I remember correctly, it was like $39-ish.
Yeah,
which
okay.
is, for a leather case.
Well, when you're talking about $100 for a solution over there, this is not bad at all. $40.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so next.
So, you like this one so far?
I do.
Right.
And funny, the least expensive one, more or less.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, one of them anyway.
Book came out with this really interesting case, which for people who can't completely go paper free.
I like the green inside there.
Is it green? I'm colorblind.
Oh, it's very green. Very bright green.
So I don't have the pad of paper in it, but it would have the iPad here and paper here.
Which seems like it's defeating a purpose or something, but I get it. I get it if you
What
need
you
to jot,
said.
if you needed to jot notes. But you know, honestly, have you tried it with a pad in there?
I have. It gets a little thick.
I was gonna say it seems like it'd be a little
Gets a
thick,
little
or it wouldn't close very well because this is really there's not much tolerance. But now look here, you don't have that feature anymore where it turns the iPad on and off when you open it. So
Big
I know that's a
issue for me.
deal killer for you. Yeah,
Big issue for
and
me.
it would be for me
And
too.
LiveScribe doesn't have pads that are perfect. If it had a LiveScribe pad that was perfect, it actually might for work. And not with apparently green.
Right, well, it's Dan. It is green.
I don't use bright colors.
I mean,
you know, my work devices.
I'm attracted to it because it is so green, but I can't see you carrying it because it is so green.
No, but if you actually need, like Coach talks about the fact that he can't do everything with the iPad.
Right.
He actually likes doing some stuff with pad and paper when he's
Now this
coaching and
one,
doing.
you have to always remember.
I don't want to remember.
I know, and that's kind of neat with most of the cases is you don't have to remember, so that's an issue. All right, so what else?
All right, we got a couple
You've
more.
got such a pile here. This is fantastic.
And you know what's really cool? We're going to actually give most of these away at some point.
Yeah.
In a huge giveaway process. So this next one, a little bulky, but I won't comment first. You'll tell me what you think.
Yeah.
I actually kind of like this one too. It has a smart feature.
I like this. When I was at the Intel event last week, I saw somebody using one of these in pink, and I thought it was really nice. This in black.
So it's not that heavy and thick. It does smart cover feature. It does the same.
Absolutely, it's just like the Apple one. I'm impressed, and it covers the back. And
How does it feel to you?
It feels like a book. It does. I like the feel. This isn't leather though, is it?
It is synthetic leather.
What is synthetic leather?
Yeah, plastic.
Well,
but it's not all that expensive. It's from the Droid factory.
Okay, so if you're vegan,
it works really well.
If you're vegan, this is a great option.
You can't eat the other cases.
No, vegans. It's not all about eating. It's about wearing.
My world is all about
eating.
In any
case, if you're
boy,
vegan,
they're really not going to like the last one we're going to look at.
Okay, so if you're vegan, this is a really great option for you because it feels very nice. It doesn't feel like you're giving up anything in quality or anything else. This is
it's a little thick.
You know, any case is going to add thickness, and this really is pretty minimal. I hope you can see that it's truly not adding much, and the weight is not that bad.
Right.
I like that case.
I've used this a lot. I've used this quite a bit also, and if you notice, it still looks really good.
It really does,
I like
and that's probably because it's not really leather. Because your leather one looks more beat up.
Yeah.